What is going on, guys? It's Dealer here, back again talking about Xbox. Scarlett Cloud leaked in a recent report showing two next generation consoles coming 2020. Now, yes, I know, didn't you already release a video today? Yes, I did, but you know what? It's not my fault. Something else happened, and it just so happened to be very interesting. So if you missed that video, I'll link it down below. Very entertaining. And of course, thanks to Cold Eastwood for letting me know about this topic as it broke. Let's get into the information. Now, if you're no stranger to this channel, you know I've done a video on Xbox Scarlett talking about multiple SKUs available at launch. Turns out NeoWin has a source that confirms this is the case as well. They say there will be two SKUs at launch in 2020, one box being more of a traditional style console, meaning lots of power, good CPU, more RAM, better next generation games, whereas the other cheaper SKU will be a hardware streaming hybrid. Now, what is a hardware streaming hybrid? Well, apparently it will utilize both hardware and the cloud to make game streaming ultra low latency and fast. This SKU is codenamed Scarlett Cloud, and the direct quote goes as followed. First off, it says the device will run games. Very interestingly, it says a limited portion of the game will be run locally to cut down on latency, with a big portion of the game coming from the cloud. The report then goes on to talk about how this is possible. Half of the game, or at least a portion of the game, running on the CPU side of the physical hardware, and then the other half coming from the cloud, the Azure network, stitching it all together into one piece of uniform gameplay with ultra low latency. Now, some of you may ask, why do this? Well, as usual, it comes down to price. With the streaming variant, keep in mind the traditional box may be $400 or $500, but the streaming variant may be $100, $200. You are essentially cramming a CPU into a box. You are telling the cloud to render a lot of the workload. And you know what? I think it's very possible, and there's a very high chance that this is real. With such limited hardware in Scarlett Cloud, the lower SKU, yeah, of course you can cut down price dramatically with no need for a giant, beefy, power-hungry GPU. That then means you don't need a giant PSU. This whole unit may be very, very small. It may look like some of the concepts we've seen for some of the really, really crazy mini Xboxes out there. It'll be very interesting to see how it looks and what kind of CPU it's rocking, because I'm guessing this thing's going to be primarily powered by a CPU on the physical side, and of course most of the other workload, you know, you're going to have coming from the cloud and things like that. Like I said, Microsoft are doubling down on a cloud initiative. They announced this at E3. It is rumored to be about 2 years out. And like I said, it could be a very real possibility. You're looking at not what I would prefer, maybe the same console, just one with a weaker GPU in next gen, but a cloud variant, which I'm not a fan of, and then a physical hardware version, which I will definitely pick up. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the cloud version or Scarlett Cloud, or at least the concept behind it, cloud gaming. But with ultra low latency, and they're combining the two, hardware and cloud, it could be very reliable for a lot of people, and it really comes down to how many megabytes per second they can get that usage. Data caps are still very much an issue, you know, so that's something that they're going to have to tackle if they can get that cloud network at a very high quality, next generation quality, because remember, this isn't streaming 360 games or 5-year-old games for the most part. You know, of course, I'm sure you'll be able to stream all your old games, but you are streaming next generation 2020 plus games. So keep that in mind. I also think they will basically integrate this with Game Pass. I think all your Game Pass games will be streamable at this point, and I think this will just be part of Game Pass. You'll have this cheaper Xbox SKU, you got Game Pass, you stream all these games, and of course they can extend that out to the store, new purchases, etc. A very interesting approach, a very cheap approach for the consumer. You save money if it works, if the latency is very low, and they get the data usage under control, then I do not have as big a problem with this. But I guess we will have to see. Let me know what you guys think down below. Of course, if you learned something here today, if you liked the video, hit that like button. Of course, share this with a buddy or two if you can, and check out the channel, subscribe if you're new. I'm Dealer. Thank you guys so much. I'm out.